The cynic, while in Corinth, saw an ignorant fellow reading a beautiful book. It was the Bacchae of Euripides, I dare say, and he was at the place where the messenger reports the fate of Pentheus and the deed of Agave. He snatched it away and tore it up, saying, "It's better for Pentheus to be torn to tatters by me once for all than by you repeatedly." Demetrios δε ο Kynikos ειδών in Corintho Απαιδεύτον βιβλίων καλιστών αναγνώσκοντα, τας βάχας είμαι του Ευρωπίδου, κατά τον άγγελον δε ειν τον διηγούμενον, τα του Pentheus πάθη και το της Agavis έργων. Apostles the Espasen αυτό υπόν άμενον εστί το Penthei άπαξ σπαραχθήνα υπ' μου υπ' σου Polakis. Though I am continually asking myself the question, I have never yet been able to discover why you have shown so much zeal in the purchase of books. Nobody who knows you in the least would think that you do it on account of their helpfulness or use, any more than a bald man would buy a comb, or a blind man a mirror, or a deaf/mute a flute player, or a eunuch a concubine, or a landsman an oar, or a seaman a plow. But perhaps you regard the matter as a display of wealth and wish to show everyone that out of your vast surplus you spend money even for things of no use to you. Come now, as far as I know, and I too am a Syrian, if you had not smuggled yourself into that old man's will with all speed, you would be starving to death by now, and would be putting up your books at auction. The only remaining reason is that you have been convinced by your toadies that you are not only handsome and charming, but a scholar and an orator, and a writer without peer. And you buy the books to prove their praise is true. They say that you hold forth to them at dinner, and that they, like stranded frogs, make a clamor because they are thirsty, or else they get nothing to drink if they do not burst themselves shouting. Ziton the ai, prosem of tone uto ke timeron evrin the nime, tinos anica tin spudintaf tin espudicas peritin omin ton viblion. Ophelias mengar e crias tis up of tone, udhan e the tis tone ke ep alakiston se evoton, umalon e phalacros on tis prieto, katanas e catopron, otiflos eocophos, avlitin e palakin o evnuchos o epirotis copin, eo ki vernitis aerotron. Allah mi apedixine plus Allah mi apedixine plutu si to pragma aki kevuli tuto amphina apacine. Oti ke istami vensi crisima omos ek polis tis periusias analiskis ke min osage kame siron onda idena. Imisavton feron tes tu gerondos ekinu diathekes para negrapsas apololis an ipolimu idi ke agoran prutithis ton vivlion. Lipon un Viakino, Pepis menon, Ipo ton kalakon, os monon kolosi, ke Erasmios, alla sophos, ke ritor, ke singrafevs, is veteros onis the tavivlia, osalithavis, tus apenus afton. Facide se ke logus epidikniste, aftis epidipno kakinus kerseon vatrachon vikin diopsenda kekragena amitpinin in me the aragosi vaondas. To be sure, you are somehow very easy to lead by the nose and believe them in everything. For once you were even persuaded that you resembled a certain royal person in looks, like the false Alexander, the false Philip the Fuller, the false Nero in our grandfather's time, and whoever else has been put down under the title false. And what wonder that you, a silly, ignorant fellow, were thus imposed upon and appeared in public, holding your head high and imitating the gait and dress and glance of the man whom you delighted to make yourself resemble. Even Pyrrhus of Epirus, a marvelous man in other ways, was once, they say, so spoiled by toadies after the same fashion that he believed he was the famous Alexander. Yet, to borrow a phrase from the musicians, the discrepancy was a matter of 2 octaves. For I have seen the portrait of Pyrrhus, but in spite of that he had acquired the conviction that he was a perfect replica of Alexander's beauty. To be sure, I have been uncomplimentary to Pyrrhus in comparing you with him in this matter. But what followed would be quite a character with you. When Pyrrhus was in this state of mind and had his conviction about himself, everyone without exception concurred with him and humored him until an old foreign woman in Larissa told him the truth and cursed him of driveling. Pyrrhus showed her portraits of Philip, Perdiccas, Alexander, Cassander, and other kings, and asked her whom he resembled, quite certain that she would fix upon Alexander. But after delaying a good while, she said, Bactrion the cook. And as a matter of fact, there was in Larissa a cook called Bactracion. The cook. There was a cook called Bactracion who resembled Pyrrhus. Kegar uk eth opos rastos tis rhinos el kista kepistavis of tis apenda os pote kakino episthis os vasilitini omiothis tinopsi kathaper o psevda Lexandros ke o psevdophilippos akinos knaphos Keokatatus pro patoras imon pseudo neron, ke etis allos ton hypoto pseudo tetragmenon. Oti thavmaston etuto epithes anoitos ke apedevtos anthropos ke proiis ex iptia zone ke mimumenos ton ikazon echeres opuke piron fasi ton ipirotin ta'ala thavmaston andra utos kalakon epito omio pote diaphtharina ospistevin otiomiosin Alexandro Aquino ketito ton musikon tuto vis diapason to pragmain e thon gar ketin to piru iconum ke almost pepisto ekmamakthi to Alexandru tin morphine Alenica men the two-tone ivriste miis ton piron otise ikasa katatutu of to the potutu ke pani si prepon ani epigar uto the ek ito opiros ke tafta iberav tu ebepisto uvis ostis usinatithato ke sinepasken afto acri the tis in larisi pres vitis xeni afto talithesi pusa epaven afton tis corizis o the garpiros epidixus afti icona Philippu ke Perlicu ke Alexandru ke Cassandru ke Alon Vasileon Iritotini Omiosi Pani Pepis Menos Epiton Alexandron Ixin Aftin Either Pauline Chronon Epicusa Vatrachioni Efi to magiro Kegar intis en ti larisi Vatrachion magiros to pyromios. As for you, I cannot say which of the profligates that hang about the actors in the pantomimes you resemble. I do know very well, however, that everyone thinks you are still downright doffed over that likeness. It is no wonder, then, since you are such a failure at likeness, that you want to make yourself resemble men of learning, believing those who praise you. KC, the otini men, tis ton tis orchestres sinondon, kinethon eicas ukan ipimi, oti the manian eromenin eti kenin meneste the keys apasin epikini ti iconi, panis saphos either. Ukun thavmaston I apithanos utos zographos on ke tis pepedevmanis ex omiusta ethelis pistevon tis tatiafta sa epenusi. But why do I talk beside the point? The reason why, for your case, or the reason for your craze about books is patent, even if I, in my blindness, fail to see it long ago. Oh, even if I, by my blindness, fail to see it long ago. It is a bright idea on your part. You think so, anyhow, and you base no slight expectations upon the thing in case the emperor, who is a scholar and holds learning in a special esteem, should find out about it. If he should hear that you are buying books and making a large collection, you think you will soon get all you want from him. Katie T. Taftaliro. Prodilos gar atia tis perita Viβλia spudis, hypo nothias ego mi pale catidum. Sophongar osgun tut epi nenoicas ke alpidas mikras echis peri tu pragmatos Ivasilevs mathi tafta sophosanir ke pevian malista timon the tafta ibersu akinos acusian os oni vivlia ke sinagis Πολλά Ponda Invra he paraf tu esista si nomizis. But do you suppose, you rotter, that he is so steeped in mandragora as to hear that and yet not to know how you pass your time during the day, what your drinking bouts are like, how you spend your nights, and in whose company? Do not you know that a monarch has many eyes and ears? And your doings are so conspicuous that even the blind and the deaf may know them. For if you but speak, if you but bathe in public, or if you choose, don't even do that. If your servants but bathe in public, do you think that all your nocturnal arcana will be known at once? Answer me this. If Bassus, that literary man who belonged to your following, or Batalus, the flute player, or the Cinnatus Hemithian of Sybaris, who wrote those wonderful regulations for you, which say that you must use cosmetics and depilatories and so forth. If one of those fellows should today walk about with a lion skin on his back and a club in his hand, what do you suppose those who saw him would think? That he was Hercules? Not unless they were gravel blind, for there are a thousand things in their appearance that would give the lie to their costume. The gait, the glance, the voice, the thin neck, the white lead, the mustache, and rogue that you beautify yourself with. In short, to quote the proverb, it would be easier to conceal 5 elephants under your arm than a single Cinnatus. Then if a lion's skin would not have hidden such as they do you suppose that you will be undetected behind a book? Impossible. The other earmarks of your sword will betray and reveal you. Allokatapigon, tosuton mandragoron, kata kekiste aftu, os taftamen akuin, ekina themi ivena, eos men su, o methumeron vios, e the sea, poti o pie, the nictes ke iis ke ilikis, sin kathevthis, ugiste os ote ke ophthalmi poli vasileos, hadasa uto periphaniestin, os ke tiflisina ke kofis gnorima, igar ke phthexeo monon, igar ke luomenos apodiseo, malon the mi apodisi, e thoki, e the ikete, monon in apodison de su, T-E-E, mi aftika asses the ponda su prothila, ta tis nictos apurita, e pagun mi, ke totha, e vasos o emeteros, ekinos sophistis, e vatalos o avlitis, e okin thos imitheon o sivaritis. Os tus thavmastus emin nomus sinegripsen, os cri la anista ke paratilista ke paskin ke pien e ekina, e tuton tis nini leondin perivalomenos ke ropalon achon vadisi. Te finista tis orosin, Iraclea enafton, uk igami hitres limondes tincanian, miriagaresti ta andi martirunda to schemati, vadisma ke vlema, ke phoni, ke trachilos, epikeklasmenos, ke psimithion, ke mastichi, ke ficos, emis kosmiste, ke olos katatin parimian, thaton an pende, elephandos ipomalis, cripsias, iena kinidon. Ita ileon di menton tiuton, uk an ekripsen, si the e leasing, scapomenos viblio, al udinaton, prothosigar se, ke apocalypsi ta ala imon glorismata.